Hello, hello. Good morning. It is Thursday, October 24th. We are almost to Friday. I hope everybody has had a good week. I appreciate y'all being here so early. Good morning, Amanda, Missy, Melissa. Well, I still appreciate you being here, Amanda. I think I'm sick, but I'm not sure. I'm just going to stay away from my coworkers. I stay mostly in a cubicle anyway. So, and there's nobody directly in front of me or behind me. So that's good. I can avoid people. Because unfortunately, this place has rules like if you miss 3 days of work in 3 months, you get written up. I haven't worked at a place like that in almost a decade. But anyway, and I never get sick. I've been in an office 3 weeks and I'm already sick. I haven't been sick in like forever. Last time I was sick, it was years ago with COVID. And that was my roommate's fault. He brought it home. And he brought this sickness in our house too. He's the one that always gets me sick. But I digress. Anyway, I hope everybody is having a good morning. So if you hear me sniffling or anything like that, that's why. All right, so we are going to jump into it. One of the things that I like reporting on are cold cases being solved. So we're going to start with a 1979 Illinois murder that has been linked to a serial killer. I just heard them use the word closure. I fucking hate that word. If you are a reporter or in law enforcement and you work with homicide victims' families, do not use the word closure. There is no such thing as closure. A detective said it best. She said, closure, there is no closure for families. They may get answers, but when someone you love dies a violent death at the hands of another person, there is no such thing as closure. And I fully agree with that. It is like an open, festering wound that never heals. You just learn how to work around it. So I hate that word. It's so triggering for me, and I will go off and rants about it. So this gentleman uses the word closure, but at least, this family has been waiting longer than I have been alive for the case to be solved.
Pride that we were able to give closure to the family on this. That was really important to us.
A cold case more than 45 years old, solved by dogged police work and the application of new technology. Kathy Holly was only 19 years old when she disappeared from this North Aurora apartment complex in 1979. Her body was found 3 weeks later when a 12-year-old boy spotted it while fishing here along the Fox River just south of the I-88 bridge. Now police say DNA samples recovered from her body have led them to accused serial killer Bruce Lindahl, who fatally stabbed himself in 1981 at the age of 29 while committing another murder in Naperville.
DNA approximately 9.4 trillion times more probable to have originated from Bruce Lindahl was present on Kathy's clothing.
In 2020, the DuPage County State's Attorney announced that DNA evidence showed Lindahl raped and murdered 15-year-old Pamela Maurer in Woodbridge. In 1976, her body was found in Lisle. Authorities have now exhumed Lindahl's body to obtain DNA samples that have now been matched to the Maurer and Holly homicides. The Kane County State's Attorney says if Lindahl were alive, there would have been enough evidence in this case to charge him with first-degree murder. That evidence was extracted by a Florida company called DNA Labs International, using a device known as an MVAC.
It sprays a solution onto a piece of evidence, and then it sucks it back up. It's much better than just swabbing that piece of evidence because that solution will get into the fibers and then be pulled back.
Holly's murder, now one of a number of cases linked to the suspected serial killer. Her family today is requesting privacy. Other cases linked to Lindahl are still under investigation. In North Aurora, Charlie Wojciechowski, NBC 5 News.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated.
He fatally stabbed himself. Coward. Like, when it comes to suicide itself, and I'm probably going to get flagged for saying that, I don't think that that in itself is a coward's way out. I believe that people are in such intense pain. I've lost my cousin that way. But when it comes to somebody doing something so horrific, like being a serial killer or hurting children or, killing their spouse, and then they take their own lives, then I think they're a coward because they can't take accountability for their own actions. So I'm glad to see that the case was solved. I'm sad to see that he's been dead and there will be no accountability. So the next story is quite disturbing. So
This program contains subject matter and language that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
a mother used a game to communicate with her child, telling her child to do absolutely horrific things, to murder other people in the household, to hurt an infant in the household, which she did do. The infant is okay. But the things that she told this child to do are just mind-boggling, that she thought that she could tell a 10-year-old what to do. So this woman, I thought it was her mother, but I'm not sure because it just says woman instructing child to murder infant through Roblox. Maybe they're not related. We'll find out. I watched this yesterday, but I forgot. My memory sucks. But this is insane. And it looks like she's wearing one of those safety vests so they can't do anything to themselves. Let's see.
An Escambia County woman is charged with attempted murder. The sheriff says she coached a 10-year-old girl, trying to get her to carry out the crime against a baby and the adults who cared for her.
Oh.
WEAR's Haley Sample.
Okay, so it looks like they weren't related and she was talking to her through Roblox. This is why we need to watch what children are doing on the internet. My little cousins are on Roblox and they're like 10 too. I've only been on it once. I think it's weird, but what do I know? So yeah, that's terrifying. Like, who the hell does that?
Adults who cared for her. WEAR's Haley Samples joins us. And Haley, a tip to the sheriff's office led them to Tara Alexis Sykes, who they say instructed that 10-year-old to commit a series of crimes.
Yes, Escambia County authorities opened an investigation on this case on October 17th, and they arrested Sykes the very next day. Now, Sheriff Chip Simmons tells me this disturbing case is unprecedented in the county.
To say it's disturbing is not saying enough.
Those words describing 36-year-old Tara Alexis Sykes. She's facing attempted murder charges.
I've never seen circumstances quite like this.
The arrest report says Sykes communicated with the child through gaming platform Roblox. It also states that Sykes' intention to commit murder started on September 1st. It says she used the messaging feature to give instructions to kill a 2-month-old. Sheriff Chip Simmons says Sykes told the child to drop the newborn head first on a tile floor.
Unfortunately, the 10-year-old did fall through and drop the infant in the kitchen floor. and that's where the infant sustained, the serious injuries.
The 10-year-old was in temporary custody of 2 adults, and authorities say Sykes told her to kill them as well.
Additionally, there was conversations about cutting the throat and burning the home of the adults that the 10-year-old was temporarily staying with.
Sheriff Simmons says Sykes had a relationship with the 10-year-old and had been communicating with her over the past month.
This is not a random someone getting on that particular social media platform or any social media platform and just finding someone to start engaging in a conversation. The relationship had already been established well before the social media platform communications.
Sykes was arrested Friday at her home on the 2000 block of Tomlinson Road. She faces charges of attempted murder and aggravated child abuse. Sheriff Simmons says the 10-year-old who carried out some of the actions could also face charges.
We're still having conversations with the state attorney's office on what, if any, charges the 10-year-old will have.
Saturday's arrest was not the first time Sykes had been charged with abuse. She was also arrested in May on the offense of child neglect and endangerment. Now, the investigation is still open as authorities work to find more answers in this case, and the sheriff says additional charges are still possible. But for now, Sykes is being held at Escambia County Jail with no bond. Reporting outside the Escambia County Sheriff's Office, I'm Haley Samples, WEAR News.
A multi-county chase ends.
That's my what the fuck story of the day. Like, what? Why? What would possess somebody to communicate with a child to try to get them to kill people? I don't understand. I don't get it. That's my what the fuck story of the day. I don't think I have anything else as twisted as that. We'll see. I don't think so. So a teenager that was convicted in the death of somebody was out and has been arrested again. No shock there. I feel like I have covered too many stories like this.
With 2 teens behind bars, but it wasn't until their names were released that a Nashville mother was left shocked. That's because one of the suspects is one she knows well. News 2's Maya Owens explains.
Dear Leah, you are such an amazing friend and person to me. I honestly can't wait to see you again.
Tonight, they're the words that keep Natalie Chastain going.
I love you so much.
After her 13-year-old daughter, Aaliyah, left home late one night. By morning, when she never returned, Natalie knew something was wrong. Aaliyah was found here, dead.
How can a violent crime be given probation? It just should never have even happened.
But it's what happened behind closed doors in the courtroom that has her on edge tonight.
I knew it. I knew it would be a matter of time before he messed up again.
Eduardo Pinata was one of 2 teens charged in Aaliyah's death. Back in August, Pinata appeared in juvenile court, agreeing to plead guilty to criminally negligent homicide as an adult. His sentence, according to court records, 3 years of supervised probation.
It is like a slap in the face to see him back out here after he's killed my daughter, knowing that he had another chance to kill someone else. And who's to say that he doesn't get out again and does?
Less than 2 months later, he was arrested for carjacking. This past Friday, Pinata reportedly stole a car at gunpoint. During the robbery, police say he approached the car, firing a shot into the SUV and in the air. But police say the crime didn't end there. Mount Juliet license plate readers caught the stolen car and a chase began before the suspects eventually crashed. Pinata and 2 others in the car with him continued to run on foot before being captured.
That's why he's smiling in his mugshot. He's gotten away with a murder, and now here he is carjacking people. At the end of the day, he doesn't care because there were no repercussions.
Which is why her focus is now on the future, hoping no other family goes through a fraction of what she has.
Pray that another person doesn't die from a decision to let him out.
And Pinata is set to go before a judge tomorrow morning. Right now, he remains in jail on an $82,000 bond.
82,000, that's a odd number. Her daughter was absolutely stunningly beautiful. Like like, holy crap. It's like one of those people that you see and you're like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. That's how pretty her daughter was. Like, she could have been a model or something. That's horrible. Good morning, Simi. And like this stuff happens far too often. So this is in Tennessee. Mount Julia is in Tennessee. The South is known for being tough on crime, but this is happening all over the nation. I, for one, I'm sick and tired of these teenagers committing violent crime and getting chance after chance after chance. Because it would be different, like if he got arrested stealing food. You know, he's hungry, he doesn't have any money, but he's carjacking people and then he's running from the police. He already killed somebody. Why are we giving people like this chances when they keep showing us that they just don't care? Like, where do we draw the line? Where's the line drawn? Because that mother, I feel horribly for her. And I've learned about some cases in Travis County and Austin where similar things happened. I just saw this advertisement for the person that's running against the district attorney. And he has all the people that got deals like that murdered their loved ones, or the charges were dropped. And one of the girls was a rape victim and the guy kept trophies, and the district attorney gave him probation. And the girl like can't even function, and he had trophies, so this wasn't like a he said she said and there was no evidence. And another one where this guy was murdered, the DA didn't prosecute. And another one, I was thinking of reaching out to him to see if I could interview him, the guy that's running against the district attorney that did this. I think that would be interesting. So I think I'm going to do that. Probably wouldn't do it early in the morning. I'll see if he could do it at night. But those cases interest me very much because I really hate to see stuff like that. Good morning, Defense Attorney Meow. I'm so excited to see you this morning. But I feel like there are so many people that are impacted by violence and homicide. If we all can join together and not accept that this should be happening, maybe we can make a difference. Because there's thousands of us scattered throughout the country. Because if like the families of mass shootings, you know, they work together for change. Those of us individuals who have been impacted need to work together. That's exactly. There's way too many entitled people these days. I don't understand what makes them think they're so much better than others. I don't know either. I don't know. I was not the best child. I ran the streets. I did some crazy shit, but you know what? I was still respectful. I was still afraid of police, even though I was doing things I shouldn't. I didn't want to get arrested. Do you know how many times I've been to adult jail? One time. That was enough for me. Yeah, that was good enough for me. These kids, but like my bond for driving on a suspended license was higher than a lot of these people. And it's crazy. So a man on trial for fatally shooting somebody over dog petting. See, like, why? Why kill somebody over? I mean, if somebody tried to hurt my dog, yeah, but that's different.
An encounter after petting a dog ends with one man dead and the man accused of shooting him now on trial. Jordan Eaton is charged with murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Today, the jury saw cell phone video of that deadly shooting. Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom.
Jordan Eaton was 18 when he was arrested and charged with murder. Today, at 21 years old, he faces a jury to decide whether he is guilty of the crime. According to prosecutors in opening statements, Eaton shot at 28-year-old Valentin Gonzalez and his wife in December 2021 at an apartment complex on the northwest side.
Is it reasonable to shoot and kill her husband, who is defending her life, after he has just witnessed his wife be shot at only for petting a dog?
According to prosecutor Neil Cordero, Eaton went into the complex courtyard and approached the Gonzalezes. As an argument started, one of Eaton's dogs went up to Brittany Gonzalez, and when she pet it, Eaton started firing shots.
The only person armed in that situation is going to be this murderous defendant.
That entire confrontation captured on cell phone video by a neighbor in the complex who was sitting on his balcony. You can hear arguing and see the dog by Brittany Gonzalez. She pets it, and then Eaton can be seen raising his gun and firing at her. Then Valentine punches Eaton, and the two begin to struggle over the gun, but Eaton was able to fire twice, hitting Valentine, killing him. Brittany Gonzalez was not shot. Part of the ordeal can also be heard in a 911 call made by Brittany's mother.
He just pulled a gun on my daughter and my son-in-law. And you know his name. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Yes, ma'am. You guys get down.
As for Eaton and his defense, they claim this was all self-defense. Now, they will return tomorrow for testimony here in the 437th. If he is found guilty by the jury, he faces up to life in prison.
Yeah, he deserves life in prison. Like, you should not be, you started it. It was not self-defense. You don't get to just pull out a gun and fire at somebody because somebody pet your loose dog. Why is your dog not on a leash? That's another thing that pisses me off. Keep your fucking dogs on leashes. Unless, if you have a yard, that's fine. But do not put your dog in an area where other people are not on a leash. That shit. Michi has been approached by so many off-leash dogs. She was mauled by one and had to have emergency surgery. So I am very protective of letting dogs run up to her, but that was not self-defense. That is somebody's ego being hurt and doing that. Holy shit. Yeah, I agree with the public defender, or not the public defender, the prosecutor, the murderous defender. 18 years old. 18 years old. And aren't you not supposed to have a handgun when you're 18? I think you have to be 21. Wasn't that the law? So shouldn't he be charged with that? Oh, I got a text message. Who is texting me this early? Nobody. It was my credit card letting me know that something went through. Anyway. Yeah, so that's not self-defense. Go under the jail. Like, throw away the key. Like, I'm so tired. See, this person does not deserve a second chance. This person clearly has a serious temper and problem. Like, why are you so angry? Why are you so angry at 18 years old? And why the hell do you have a handgun? You're not supposed to have one until you're 21. You can have a rifle. So let's do an extra charge for that too. Like, go fuck yourself. Okay. So anyway. So you guys may have seen the French rape trial that was going on. The details of this case are very disturbing. This courageous woman, Giselle, has had to testify in not one, but 2 rape cases. Her husband drugged her and allowed men to rape her, over 50 men. She testified in one trial, and now she's testifying again. This woman is a pioneer for women's rights and rape victims and sexual assault victims all over the world. She was met with applause entering the courtroom. I am so glad. No, they didn't charge the 10-year-old that I saw. That was the lady. 10-year-old is the max. I didn't hear that. Did anyone else hear that the 10-year-old was charged? I didn't. I missed it if they did. The 10-year-old definitely needs help. I don't know. Maybe they're just going to put her through a program if she did get charged. But anyway. So Giselle is testifying again, and the people lined up at the courthouse and applauded her as they went in. So as she went in.
bisou. Non, c'est pas grave. Tu as tellement. Tu serais mis un livre dessus. Et puis, une petite pierre. Ici, c'est une maladie.
A judge has set high.
Yeah. So every time that Giselle has gone to court, she is met with such love and support, people giving her flowers, people, just going up to her and telling them how much they admire her. And what she did is just so brave. And it was her decision to show her face and to no longer be anonymous because she wanted to show other victims, that it was okay. So very proud of her. I don't even know her. Like, I'm going to cry just thinking about it. Like, she's such a brave woman to go through what she did and, show her face and tell the world what happened to her. So, moving back to Texas, in Harris County, a husband and wife are facing charges for kidnap and attempted murder of the wife's affair partner. Like, I don't know, just break it off. Like, I don't understand. I guess maybe he was trying to make the wife prove that it was over. I don't know.
Bonds for a Houston husband and wife who are accused of trying to kill the man that she was having an affair with.
That's right. Fox 26's Dominique Keith joining us live outside of the Harris County Criminal Courthouse. Dominique, crazy story.
Yeah, Rashi and Caroline, it's pretty bizarre. Omar Bishtawi and Hannah Olalami are husband and wife. They are parents to 3 children. And now Houston police investigators say they are also criminals. According to details that came out in court, the couple tried to kidnap and kill a man that she was cheating with.
It's alleged that you were both married to other people. And when the complaining witness's wife found out about the relationship, the complaining witness broke off the relationship.
That, however, wasn't the end of it. According to court records, 35-year-old Hannah Al-Alami and her husband, 48-year-old Uber driver Omar Bishtawi, went to a West Houston Chick-fil-A and waited for the man she had been cheating with, a DoorDash driver, to arrive.
It's alleged that you gestured to the complaining witness, and the complaining witness got into your vehicle. You tried to drive off with the complaining witness, although the complaining witness told you that he had a delivery and could not go. Your husband jumped out from under a curtain that was in the back seat of the vehicle, put the complaining witness in a chokehold, and pressed a firearm against the complaining witness's head. The complaining witness tried to get away, and your husband shot the complaining witness 2 times.
The gunfire and attempted kidnapping, according to court documents, happened at this same Chick-fil-A where the wife and her boyfriend would meet. And then the two, according to court records, would drive behind the nearby Target to be alone.
She has 3 children, ages 13, 10, and 7 years old.
Now, it's alleged that you and your wife conspired to kidnap and kill the complaining witness.
Now, that boyfriend who was shot twice, he was shot in his thigh and also in his foot, but he survived the shooting. The husband and wife are both charged with aggravated assault and aggravated kidnapping. His bond has been set at $200,000. Her bond is $150,000. Reporting live.
Why? It's over. Why? The guy's wife found out, so he's already, going through his shit. So what's the point of killing him? It's over. And one's an Uber driver, the other one's DoorDash. I stopped ordering DoorDash or any of that stuff because too many times I have had people that don't match the photos or the account. And then one time the Walmart delivery person tried to fight me. So, any desire that I have to have anything delivered, I just don't do it. Sometimes you have to take Uber and Lyft. So just make sure the person matches the profile before you get in. That's all I can say really about that. This is another what the fuck, but the one with the Roblox was definitely higher on the what the fuck scale. I'm gonna need to make a what the fuck scale or something. Like that was so stupid. Like the guy was in the back seat, right? Like the husband was in the I'm always going to look in the back seat. Like I look under my car, but the husband popped out like
Surprise, motherfucker.
like yeah, he thought that he was in an action movie or something. So I have two high-speed chase stories back to back, two different areas. One happened in the Philadelphia area. The other one, I believe, happened in California. One did end in a really horrible crash. So I do want to warn you about that. The Philadelphia one didn't end as bad, but when it goes to the second high speed crash or high speed chase, I just want to warn you, the end of it, the car basically explodes. So if that's something you don't want to see, come back after. So this video is going to be 3 minutes, the one in Philadelphia, and then the other one is 1.5 minutes, so about 4.5 minutes.
Officers converge on a stolen car with guns drawn. This dramatic video, recorded by a neighbor, captured the end of a chase that spanned several Philadelphia neighborhoods. 2 teens were arrested. A third remains on the run. Today, we're learning more about what led to these tense moments in Fern Rock. It is Tuesday afternoon. I'm Sarah Bloomquist.
And I'm Brian Taft. The big story on Action News today is the search for that final suspect connected to that armed carjacking and chase overnight. Action News reporter Walter Perez spoke with the man who captured the end of that chase on video.
He's live at police headquarters now with the full story. Walter.
That's right, Sarah and Brian. As you mentioned, Action News obtaining exclusive video showing how the whole thing ended, even as a third teenage suspect remains at large.
This dramatic cell phone video shows how a police chase ended after carjacking last night on the 2800 block of Distance Street. That's where investigators say 3 teenagers, at least one of whom was armed with a gun, stole a man's car after taking his wallet, cell phone, and keys.
2 of the offenders jumped into the complainant's vehicle. The third offender, the one that had the firearm, hid underneath a neighbor's vehicle, and he is still at large.
Authorities were able to quickly locate and track that stolen Nissan Maxima before trying to pull it over. The driver did not stop, though, and a police helicopter was deployed to keep track of that car as it traveled all the way to Marvine Street and Chew Avenue in Fern Rock. That's where police converged and arrested the 14 and 15-year-old suspects. Jay Spate, who lives nearby, says he witnessed those arrests taking place.
He was coming back up, and because I heard they was armed, the first thing I was thinking, I don't want them to get shot. So I was like, please, I hope they put their hands up.
And we can report that no shots were fired. Tonight, police officials are applauding the work done by officers involved in this arrest, while touting a dramatic reduction in carjackings in the city over the past couple of years. Year to date, there have been 486 carjackings in Philadelphia. Compare that to this time last year, when 787 carjackings were reported, 1,094 back in 2022. And Captain Jason Smith says it's all the direct result of initiatives implemented involving local police and federal authorities.
The carjacking task force, yes, in coordination, working in concert with federal law enforcement authorities, has done a spectacular job at reducing the number of carjackings that we've been experiencing over the past 2 years.
Authorities also tell us that one of the suspects arrested was already on juvenile probation and wearing an ankle monitor. Both had prior arrests. Meanwhile, if you have any information about the third suspect, please contact police. Reporting live from police headquarters, Walter Perez, Channel 6 Action News. Sarah?
Walter, thank you.
Course.
Topping our newscast this hour, a woman is dead after she was possibly ejected from a car following a lengthy high-speed police.
This one, I don't know if it's going to show the ending, but I saw it on another video, and it's pretty bad.
chase through the grapevine today. The chopper from our sister station KTLA followed the entire thing. Take a look.
Wow, a last second jumping onto the 138. She's going to lose control. Oh, she's rolling it under the bridge.
And that is the moment the stolen Honda rolled over after the driver tried to exit Interstate 5 and get on to eastbound Highway 138. This all started when Los Angeles police started following the suspected stolen car near the eastbound 210 freeway near Polk Street in Sylmar. This started about 1:45 this afternoon. The driver, who was later identified as a woman, headed north on Interstate 5, leading a chase that topped over 100 miles per hour. She reached the outlets at Tejon before turning around and heading back south down I-5. The woman ultimately crashing near Quail Lake Road around 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Fortunately, the vehicle was going too fast to negotiate the curve or the transition from southbound 5 to eastbound 138 and crashed.
CHP officers do not have any details as of news time tonight as to how and when that woman came into possession of the car. Her identity will be released at a later.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad it didn't show the angle where it hit the pillar, because the car hits the pillar and just literally explodes. It's really horrible. So kind of glad. Yeah, so it's different if they're in an abusive relationship. I have helped friends leave abusive relationships, and I have been I've helped them move out, or I've tried to do other stuff. And even if they go back, I typically stay around. But that's different. The person that didn't even ask me to be an alibi was just bored because her husband was working a lot because he was a doctor, and he was trying to get finish a different degree so he could be home more and spend time with his family. And they had a kid, and the wife didn't work, and she wouldn't even clean the house at all or do his laundry. And they could have had money for like a maid, but she didn't hire one. The house was just so messy. Yeah, commentary during the chase and crash sounded like a sports announcer. Some reporters do. So the one reporter that I saw where somebody got punched outside of a restaurant, that was the best commentary I've ever seen. And I need more of that specific reporter. So have a couple more stories. I have some stories at the very bottom that I may save for tomorrow. I moved those down just in case. So the United States has charged somebody in a murder plot that is from India. There was some stuff going on in Canada where they did kill somebody that was Sikh, and Canada ousted the people from India that were from the Indian government, and then India ousted the Canadian representatives in their country. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. And I have that story, and then I have something from Canada talking about the cities with the highest crime rate in Canada. This isn't just a United States problem. This is happening all over the country. I shared some stories from Japan the other day, New Zealand, Australia. Australia lowered the age that somebody can be charged with a crime from 12 to 10 because they're also having an issue with youth. So yeah, the world is just absolutely lost its shit. Apparently we need an alien invasion. I think that would fix everything, kind of like Independence Day, because then we'll all unite, as the human race. Not that I'm saying I want that to happen, but I really think that's the only thing that's going to bring people together is something like that. Or vampire, I don't know, something that is not human trying to attack the earth. Then we would all get along. But until then, it's just going to be a shit show.
The United States has charged a former Indian official for his role in a foiled plot to kill a Sikh separatist leader. 39-year-old Vikash Yadav is charged with conspiracy to commit murder for hire and money laundering. He's the second Indian national after Nikhil Gupta to be charged in the alleged plot to kill Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, a US and a Canadian citizen who lives in New York. Pannu is a pro-Khalistan leader who has been designated as a terrorist by India. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, has released a wanted poster for Yadav. The information given in the FBI poster says that Yadav was born in 1984 in the state of Haryana. The poster adds that he used Amanat as an alias when communicating with his co-conspirator. The Justice Department accused Yadav of directing the plot and said he recruited Nikhil Gupta in May of 2023 to hire a hitman to carry out the murder. Gupta allegedly contacted an individual he believed to be a criminal associate to hire a hitman. The individual was in fact a confidential source working with the US Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA. Yadav subsequently agreed to pay $100,000 to the purported hitman. The Drug Enforcement Administration has stated that it foiled the assassination. Gupta has already pleaded not guilty in June to the involvement in the assassination plot after being extradited to the United States from the Czech Republic. Now, the United States said on Wednesday that it had been informed by India that an intelligence operative accused of directing an assassination plot on the US soil was no longer in government service.
Sure. So we, the meeting that occurred yesterday, we being the U.S. government broadly, updated members of the Committee of Inquiry about the investigation that the United States has been conducting. We've received an update from them on the investigation that they have been conducting. It was a productive meeting, and I will leave it at that.
Did they also inform you about some of the actions they might have taken?
They did inform us that the individual who was named in the Justice Department indictment is no longer an employee of the Indian government.
The action by New Delhi represented a sharp contrast to its defiant approach to similar charges from Canada, where Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Wednesday accused India of violating his country's sovereignty. Canada has separately alleged that India arranged a plot on its soil that ended in the killing last year of a Sikh separatist in Vancouver. Canada and India on Monday expelled each other's ambassadors as Ottawa said that the Indian campaign went further than previously reported. India has rejected Canada's charges and alleged a domestic political motive by Trudeau.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on between India and Canada and the US now. So now going to move on to Canadian news. So we're going to talk about the top list for highest crimes in Canada, and then a Canadian Olympian has been wanted for a decade, and he was actually just busted in Miami for like $1 billion drug ring. So he went from an Olympian to El Chapo. Hi, Taryn. Good morning. Good morning, Carrie. So let's see where not to go in Canada.
Unfortunately, I've been a victim of a couple of crack houses on my block alone.
Debbie Walker has lived in Chilliwack for the past 15 years, and she's had enough of the crime.
I have witnessed so much unrest, multiple police visits, fire, ambulance, and the story just keeps going on. It takes forever for anything to happen.
Basically, we're going to make entry in the door, hold it, reach the basement door.
Debbie says this video showing police raiding a nearby drug home was taken last spring. The problem was so bad at another nearby home, Debbie installed security cameras around her property.
And I looked through the footage, and there was over 160 people in and out of that house between the hours of 6 a.m. and 4 in the afternoon, a 10-hour period. And that was 160 people. They're not coming in for a bottled water. It was horrific.
New Statistics Canada data shows BC cities top the list for the country's high crime rate. Kamloops had the highest crime severity index across all of Canada's census metropolitan areas in 2023. Chilliwack had the second highest, Nanaimo the sixth highest crime rate, Kelowna the seventh, and Abbotsford Mission the 10th. Debbie is making a call to action and has started a petition to improve public safety in Chilliwack. The mayor and RCMP were not available for comment. Debbie says the one neighborhood drug house that was also near a school was raided by police.
And I felt so empowered about that because that meant somebody was listening. And finally, something was being done. And we shouldn't have to live like that.
Grace Key, Global News.
In a dramatic operation in broad daylight, Mexico.
Was it? I thought they were going to tell me the cities. They didn't. I used to live down the street from a crack house in Miami. But anyway, so yeah, this is the Olympian that I was talking about. So the Canadians transnational crime ring. So he was like the Canadian El Chapo, or Pablo Escobar.
Mexican troops moved in on a restaurant in Guadalajara, arresting a Canadian facing murder charges for violent killings in Ontario. Andrew Clark is named in a U.S. indictment as the right-hand man of former Olympian turned fugitive Ryan Wedding.
Un autre Canadien maintenant, Ryan Wedding.
Wedding is wanted by the FBI, accused of running a transnational drug trafficking network. And the RCMP now confirms they've been hunting Wedding for a decade.
Is it fair to say that he's been on the run since at least 2015?
Approximately that, yeah.
Whoa. Last week, the FBI raided this South Florida mansion once owned by rap star DJ Khaled. Indicted now, the home's recent owner, Canadian Naim Jorge Bonilla, who authorities say orchestrated a 20-kilogram shipment of methamphetamine to Montreal. All of it meant to repay a drug debt to Wedding, who allegedly told Bonilla that he would kill his mother if he didn't pay up.
I can't comment on where we may think he is. He was in Mexico.
Among the 16 defendants indicted, CBC News has learned 4 were tracked down last week in Toronto. And court records show 2 other Ontario men were arrested at this border crossing after officers spotted a secret compartment in their truck filled with what appeared to be cocaine.
Things that would be said to a defendant is, it would be better for you to cooperate and give up information in exchange for a reduced sentence.
That former FBI official says investigators will be pressing those arrested for any information on Wedding's whereabouts. 4 co-accused are set to appear in court here on Wednesday as the U.S. seeks their extradition.
Yeah, so Wedding has literally billions of dollars. So he could be anywhere. He could have, fake identity, all that stuff. So if he's smart, he would be in a country that doesn't extradite to the United States. Not a whole lot of options. Cuba, North Korea, and Russia maybe is like it for the most. Well, there's probably more, but if he's smart, he's in Cuba already. But we'll see. All right, so I have 3 more stories, and then we're going to be done today. So keep seeing more and more dental scams, which is wild. So please make sure that if you're getting any dental work done, that the place you're going to has a licensed dentist. I have no idea why. Vietnam doesn't, but there's people in Harris County that ran to Vietnam, and they got caught there and sent back. So I'm not really sure how often they don't send people back. But anyway, so unlicensed veneer technicians are popping up all over the country, and they're doing dental work and not licensed, which is wild to me. It's insane. Like, I don't want to mess with anybody's mouth. the teeth and gums are really important. You can get really sick, you can get infections, you can have a heart attack because you have an infection and it goes to your heart and stuff like that. So if it's too cheap and it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I get it. You want a perfect white smile, but it's not worth it at all.
The social media videos are convincing. Straight white teeth provided by so-called veneer techs who say they can give you that perfect smile. Instead of charging $500 to $1,200 per tooth like a licensed dentist, veneer techs offer the whole smile for about $2,000. No x-rays or drilling required, just a composite glued to the teeth.
They're basically advertised as acrylic nails for the teeth. It's something that just goes over the top and it's completely reversible.
Influencer Andrea Joseph said she was contacted on Instagram by Devon Odueso, a self-described dental assistant. He asked if she could promote his business, VVS Smiles, in exchange for free veneers. After a year of watching Devon's business grow on Instagram, she decided to enroll in his course and travel to Atlanta to learn how to become a veneer tech herself.
What was the promise? A lot of money. He's like, oh, I've made over $100,000 in a year, and I only started this 6 months ago.
She says the 2-day course cost $2,500. 1 day spent watching YouTube videos and listening to other veneer techs explain how they found patients. She says on the second day, she and 5 other students practiced on a patient in a home outfitted with a dental chair and equipment.
Overall, how much actual hands-on time did you get? I was probably in the person's mouth for about 25 minutes.
Armed with this certificate of completion, Andrea says she was told to practice on patients by forming the veneers but not gluing them on until she felt ready to do it for real. She says she used materials she bought from Amazon and eBay.
I would take the composite, I would take that off, and put it right on the tooth there. Okay. If you didn't know what you were doing, could you end up damaging someone's teeth? Oh, yes, of course. You can cut somebody's gums. You can accidentally shave their real tooth down.
She says she didn't realize what she was doing was illegal until she posted about it on social media.
Someone then took my photos and was like, this is 100% illegal.
NBC News reached out multiple times to Odueso, whose legal name is Devon Antley, but he declined to comment. Dentist Josefa Capadia posted this TikTok video to his 1.3 million followers to warn them about this dangerous trend. What's the biggest misconception about these veneers?
That they last for a very long time. It can just last a month or less.
He says he removed these veneers from a patient who visited a tech in Atlanta.
She had this burning sensation around her gums and her teeth. They were very inflamed.
How much does it cost to fix bad dental work that's been done by someone who's not licensed?
So you're looking at about $2,000 or more per tooth to fix it.
The American Dental Association warns risks from veneers include infection, nerve damage, and even a physical alteration to your bite. And they say the work should be done by or under the supervision of a licensed dentist. What's your bottom line takeaway message for people who see these advertisements, see these videos, and want to do this?
I would say buyer beware. Please do your research. Don't get excited by it's just a cheap price, and just be aware that there will be complications afterward.
As for Andrea, she now wants her veneers removed.
Even though my smile looks nice, it's not as nice as it's portrayed to be.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories.
Yeah, so $2,000 for the whole mouth instead of $500 per tooth. So once you get the fake veneers, then it's $2,000 per tooth to fix. Like, it's basically acrylics for your teeth. So they put it over it and like bacteria can get in there, your teeth can rot. Like, no, you're better. If you really, really want something like that, you're better getting the pop-in veneers that you can get online rather than having something permanently attached to your teeth. And yes, it is illegal. It is very illegal. But the problem is that people are holding these classes and training people how to do it. and like not explaining to them that it's illegal. So they think it's okay because they're attending this class, they're getting training, they're getting certificates for this. So if people don't do the research, they have no idea that this is illegal. So you may have seen clips on social media where these scammers are backing into cars to make it look like they were rear-ended for insurance scams. So make sure that you have a dash cam. If you don't, I got something in my eye. If you don't, they're cheap on Amazon. A cheap one is better than nothing, especially in cases like this. So there was 2 times that these people were seen on dash cams trying to do this. People found the vehicle of one of the scammers, and well, you'll see for yourself.
It's the video shocking America. Suspected insurance scammers coming to a dead stop on a highway, then slamming in reverse, deliberately causing an accident. Oh my God! Then they emerge from the car, all set to claim whiplash. Now, a major development. Citizen sleuths have gone in search of the car and found it. Here's the car abandoned in Brooklyn. Its windows broken, and somebody wrote fraud on the front and rats on the back of the car. This woman was driving the car that was targeted.
I don't want to encourage violence, but, I do appreciate everyone trying to find this person.
The NYPD says they are investigating possible insurance fraud, and they towed the car away this morning. So what's going on here? Is there an insurance fraud ring at work, roaming the highways, picking out unsuspecting drivers and deliberately crashing into them? It would seem so.
I was like, they got me. I'm like, they got me.
Alyssa Adonacio believes she was the victim of a similar scam. It happened in August. Her dash cam video shows a Honda cutting in front of her and then slamming on the brakes. These dudes emerge from the car. And look, one guy holds his neck as if he's got whiplash, just like in the other video.
Each one got out individually, and, of course, one was holding his neck. And so I knew what was coming.
That's not all. In both cases, moments after the initial hit, a mysterious red Kia minivan pulls over.
This Kia was behind me the entire time.
Again, in both incidents, the suspected scammers took off when they noticed they were being recorded by the dash cam.
I'm letting them know, I'm pointing, camera, like try what you want. You know what I'm saying? But how successful you're going to be is a different story because I have a camera.
So, Exhibit A. Now, Exhibit B. The sign may say it all. Fraud.
They didn't show it. They found the car. They matched the license plate, and people in New York found the vehicle. They busted out all the windows. I guess they didn't want to show that. All the windows were busted out. They put signs on the front and the back. I'm surprised they didn't do more to the car because the car's still drivable. They could still, do stuff. But New York has its own justice. So I don't think things are going to go very well for them. People are just getting more and more pissed off about this stuff. Like I've seen mobs of people help arrest a rapist. They took them down and held them for police. I've seen where police had to have a whole bunch of cops there so they didn't rip apart a murder suspect. So people are getting mad. So I'm gonna follow up on this and see. I'll share on my Twitter what I found of the car. I don't have time to look for it and post it now, but I will. So the last story of the day, of course, is a little something different today from our furry friends. This is a bird that was stolen and thankfully reunited with its owner. I swear I can talk.
A
It was a scene of pure jubilation. Over a month after her bird Tofu was stolen, Mercedes Kemp finally reunited with him on Tuesday.
He recognized me as I was crossing the street, and by the time I got up to him, we were both just smiling ear to ear, overjoyed.
Tofu was stolen along with another bird named Plato last month from Kemp's Feathered Follies pet store in Concord. Both birds are estimated to be worth thousands of dollars. After initially running cold, the Concord Police Department says additional evidence uncovered by the Union City Police Department ultimately led them to Tofu, who had been sold at least 4 times and was down in Los Angeles.
We did follow-up investigation at various cities. We were in San Jose, Fremont, Union City, into Modesto, and every step we took led us a little bit closer.
Kemp says while Tofu was missing, she and her shop received an enormous outpouring of support from the community.
Oh my gosh, I read the paper.
We witnessed some of that support firsthand while at Feathered Follies on Wednesday.
I always come here for my birds too, but I was so excited when I saw the pictures and wow. Oh, so grateful. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. I know.
While Tofu has been reunited with his owner, the other stolen bird, Plato, is still missing. And the Concord Police Department says they're doing everything they can to bring him back home.
You being shy, boy?
As for Kemp, she says she couldn't be happier to be reunited with her baby once again. And for the love that she's gotten in his absence, she plans on paying some of it back. She tells us she recently created a nonprofit called the Feathered Follies Foundation.
We want to be able to help birds that can't help themselves. So we have, a roof and some food and a place to help rehabilitate them when they need it.
Authorities have identified 2 suspects in the bird napping cases. One of them has already been arrested. The other has an outstanding warrant out for his arrest. In Concord, Tim John.
Oh, what a cute bird. That bird was so happy to be reunited with its owner. I loved that. I always love ending on something happy and with animals because I love animals. Animals bring me great joy. And I hope that they bring joy to you as well. Well, that's going to be it for today. I will be back tomorrow morning. I hope everybody has a wonderful Thursday. I need to go fix myself for work. I didn't even, I'm not really sure what's going on with my hair, but I just wanted to get on stream, so I didn't do anything to fix it. Anyway, I hope everybody has a beautiful day. I appreciate every single one of you for being here. Make sure that you're following me on Twitter and Kick and all that other stuff. And tomorrow I will be streaming with Publicly Buzzed for Feral Friday. We're going to be watching some movies. I just want to say the movie I picked is not my favorite movie, but I picked it because it is one of the weirdest horror movies I have ever seen. So please don't judge me because there's a few scenes that it's like, holy shit. But so don't judge me. I have to share it. It's like when I saw VHS and there was a scene where the guy got his wang cut off and it was thrown at him. I showed everybody that part because it was just so crazy. But anyway, all right. Thank you, Missy. I'm trying. I got some cold medicine here, so I hope I'm not sick and it's just allergies because I don't want to get anybody at work sick, but I have to go to work, Anyway, love you all. I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I appreciate you all. And I appreciate when you guys share things with me in the chat because you don't have to do that, and I very much appreciate you all. Love you. Have a beautiful day. Bye, y'all.